what he was going to expect today.
Well, I just really want to keep us in the game. I want to get off to a good start, get this first night out of the way, hopefully have it go well, and try to put our team in a position to win a game.
You seem to thrive on pressure. You always have. You seem to like that. Is this kind of exciting for you? It's all uncharted territory for you arm-wise, but is this kind of exciting?
I wouldn't trade it for anything. You know, this is what you play for. Everybody says, wouldn't it be nice if there wasn't so much pressure? Everybody's calling you the savior. I know better than to worry about that kind of talk, but I wouldn't trade this opportunity for anything.
And how do you pitch in Oakland and against that team?
I haven't seen the new ballpark yet. I'm waiting to see the new dimensions. I know they have a lot of right-handed power. Obviously, I'm going to have to throw some breaking balls for strikes and throw some fastballs on the inside half to keep them honest. But for the most part, it's my first look at the new Oakland Stadium.
Are you excited by this, really?
Incredibly. I'm so anxious right now. I can't wait to get this night out of the way, or this day out of the way, and hopefully, again, have it go well, give our team a chance to win, and then move on and get better from that.
Please stay with us. David Cone and the Yankees coming up right after this.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by New Miller Beer, the brand new beer from Miller with big flavor that goes down easy. By the Money Store, where you can refinance your home and consolidate your bills with just one phone call. By Hertz, for business, for pleasure. Nobody does it exactly like Hertz. And by Nobody Beats the Whiz, for state-of-the-art home electronics, computers, cameras, music, movies, and more. Nobody beats the Whiz. And it is a beautiful day in Northern California at this brand new completed Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Ariel Prieto getting ready to take his warm-up pitches right now. And of course, everybody waiting for the return of David Cone. For the New York Yankees, here's your lineup. Jeter starting off. You see Charlie Hayes still playing third base. Bob says he'll probably play tomorrow. Fielder back at the DH spot. Strawberry in left field. Girardi is going to be catching David Cone. For the Oakland A's, Jason Giambi in left, Jason Corwin Moore, the kid, in center, Herrera in right, Steinbeck, Maguire, Batista, Bordick at short, and Scott Brocious at third base. Ariel Prieto, who's pitched very, very well 3 complete games in his last 4 starts. He's on the mound.
All right, we're about ready to get underway. The Yankees playing their 8th game of this 10-game road trip. And Derek Jeter will lead it off for the Yankees, followed by Bernie Williams and Paul O'Neill. And the first pitch from Prieto, lined hard into right field, but moving back is Herrera to make the catch, and there's one gone. As the game progresses, we will continue to tell you about this brand new Oakland Coliseum. It is totally different from anything that you and I have seen here in Oakland as they prepare it for football. The Oakland Raiders coming back to Oakland.
Look at that upper deck. That is so high. People sitting up there have binoculars all the time. That is really up there.
And brand new dimensions for baseball here in Oakland. One gone, and Bernie Williams steps in. Bernie batting .298, 24 home runs, 80 RBIs. Strike one from Prieto. Ariel Prieto is 26 years old, comes from Havana, Cuba. As we take a look at Bernie's numbers. That leaves the count up at 1-1. Prieto was Oakland's first-round selection and the 5th picked overall in the June of 1995 draft. A young man who's had a pretty good career. His win-loss record doesn't really reflect it. Last year, Prieto had a chance to pitch here in Oakland, was 2-6. A little 4-point ERA. But he's a part of this new regime for this Oakland ball club. You'll hear some names today that you haven't heard before, but it's all in the process of rebuilding an organization and a franchise.
Bobby, since Prieto has come off the DL, he's got an ERA of about 2. He's just been tremendous. Sandy Alderson sent him down to the minor leagues for about 30 days to show him the difference between playing in the minor leagues and playing in the major leagues. And since he's come back, he has absolutely been spectacular, throwing strikes mostly.
That's certainly a key to a big league pitcher, and his success is being able to throw the ball over for a called strike. That pitch outside. Now the count goes to 3-2 on Bernie with one gone here in the top of the first inning. No score. The Yankees and the Oakland A's begin a 3-game series with Paul O'Neill on deck. The Yankees lead this series against Oakland 7-2, winning 4 of 6 in Yankee Stadium, and then sweeping out here in Oakland. Hard shot right to McGuire. He'll take it himself, and 2 gone. Bernie hit it hard, but the old Adam ball got him.
And that's one of those breaking pitches last year, Bobby, that a Prieto would not have gotten over the plate, and Bernie just lines it right over there to McGuire, who takes him by himself. So immediately you can see a difference in Prieto between this year and last year.
With 2 gone, Paul O'Neill steps in. Paul batting .300. 15 home runs, 77 RBIs. Quite a story, this Prieto kid. Strike 1 to Paul. As we mentioned, Oakland's first-round pick, and comes from Havana, Cuba, and was a member of the Cuban national team for 5 years, from 1990 through 1994. That pitch foul back and out of play. And he set the national team record for strikeouts in one game when he fanned 20 in a Nicaraguan contest back in 1990.
He's really one of the first defectors that we've seen really make it to the major leagues and stay here.
O'Neill did not go around, so the count goes to 1-2. One thing here about the Coliseum, from a hitter standpoint, there is a lot of foul territory. So if you pop the ball up, the stadium is not that close to the field, and there's a lot of room for the fielders to camp under it.
You know,
that evens the count up at 2-2.
You know, it also looks different. It's now 362 into the power alleys. You can see all that foul territory there, but those power alleys aren't that deep. 362 is not that far away.
Especially with the type of baseball that they're hitting today. And O'Neill goes around on a split-fingered fastball as O'Neill strikes out. The Yankees are gone here in the top of the first inning. So no score. As David Cone comes to the mound for the Yankees, he'll be facing the A's here in the bottom of the first.
Toyota's nation.
Well, back in Oakland at the Coliseum as David Cone takes his warm-up tosses. And what a day it's going to be for Cone and the New York Yankees. It all started back on April the 27th when Cone underwent an angiogram which determined a circulatory problem. And then successful surgery was performed on May the 10th at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center. And here we are after rehab at Norwich, Connecticut for a couple of games. David Cone is back with the Yankees. Some say it's a miracle. And David Cone is really happy and almost like a newborn rookie out there on the mound.
It's an amazing story, and of course anybody that knows David Cone thought that this day was going to come, but you just saw Derek Jeter go over and give him a little hit there. Wish him good luck.
Jose Herrera leads it off for Oakland, and the first pitch from Cone is down low for a ball. This is a very powerful ball club that Cone will be facing this afternoon. They lead the major leagues with home runs. And that fastball just missing outside, so Cone falls behind Herrera 2-0. I mentioned the home run power. 219 home runs this ball club has as a team. And they're on their way to a record franchise here in Oakland. That pitch misses inside. Ball 3-0. Probably, with the excitement that's going on with Cone right now, he will overthrow a little bit. And it'll take him a while to settle down and pitch his type of game that you normally see from Cone. So that pitch in there for a call strike. Check it. That pitch was down low. It looked like the umpire behind home plate, Evans, raised his right arm, but 4 pitches, 4 balls from Cone as Stottlemyre looks on. So Cone walks his first batter. And that'll bring up Tony Bautista. So Cone will get a chance to turn around and now pitch from the stretch.
Bautista very young, only 22 years old. Actually a shortstop, but they've moved him over to second base because they've got Bordick.
And that pitch missing way up high. So 5 pitches from David Cone and has yet to throw a strike. Bautista batting .283, 4 home runs and 13 RBIs. In these situations, when you come back and all eyes are on you, your legs are a little bit wobbly, a little bit jelly filled, and the excitement is overwhelming, and your adrenaline is really flowing, and you begin to overthrow a little bit.
And I think maybe throwing over to first, because this team, there's nobody on this team that has more than 10 stolen bases. So maybe David's trying to throw over there, just calm himself down a little bit.
And the first strike after 6 pitches. And it appeared, obviously, that the Oakland A's was going to make him throw a strike before they swing the bat. So now that he's found the strike zone, we'll see what happens after this. Another throw to first base.
Batista's usually a pretty free swinger, doesn't walk a lot, strikes out a lot, very young, just learning.
A little check swing tapper foul around the home plate area. So David Cone now working in front, 1 and 2. Cone is on a 100 pitch count today. He won't throw over 100 pitches in today's ball game. Obviously, he'd like to get through those 100 pitches with a lead in the 5th inning.
He had thought maybe he could go 5 or 6 with 100 pitches.
Talking to him before today's ball game and asking him about those 100 pitches, he says, well, I hope they are at least 80% quality pitches. So he wants to throw at least 80 out of the 100 that'll be quality pitches. Beautiful pitch on the outside corner. David Cone records his first strikeout of the game. Tony Bautista walks back to the Oakland bench. That'll bring up Jason Giambi.
Right on the outside corner of the plate, really froze Bautista. And Bobby, that's really got to make him feel good, calm him down a little bit. You know, everyone was fooling around calling him the savior, but he heard it. He understands what everybody's counting on him for here.
So Giambi will step in, 1 gone, 1 man on here in Oakland. Giambi batting .308, 20 home runs, 75 RBIs. As Cone once again chases Herrera back. Maybe more of a relaxing throw over there than
you don't want to waste those pitches throwing over to first base if he's on a 100 pitch count.
And there goes Herrera. Girardi's throw is in time. A beautiful throw by Joe Girardi. I mean, it was a perfect throw to nail Herrera at second base.
And there's the difference also in having David Cone on the mound and some of the other pitches here where the release is a little bit faster, and Girardi actually had time to go and get that. Herrera going all the way. Girardi gets the ball, and a perfect throw to Jeter, who applies the tag.
So Herrera is gone. Nobody on. 2 men out now. Off-speed pitch missing outside. Now it's 2-0 to Giambi. Mark McGwire on deck for the Oakland A's. No score here in the 1st inning. Beautiful day for baseball. Sunshine, no clouds. And another pitch missing outside, and the count goes to 3-0. So here in the 1st inning, obviously Cone struggling for the strike zone, and has pitched behind in the count to the first 3 batters. And he walks his second man as Giambi will trot down to first base. Now to bring up Mark McGwire. Well, everybody knows the numbers that Mark McGwire has put up this year, and Joe Torre and all the Yankee brass looking on.
McGwire just having a tremendous year. The 46 home runs, that's now 3rd on the all-time A list. Between he himself had 49, and I guess Reggie is right behind him with 47.
And the breaking ball he starts McGwire off with is in there for a called strike. Along with those 46 home runs for McGwire, you can see he's batting .324 with 95 RBIs. McGwire leads the American League in home runs. And a swing and a miss on another breaking ball. So now Cone working in front 0-2.
You can see him.
Maybe Coney just needs a little challenge.
I think so. Maybe right on the outside of the plate. You look, he's staying away from McGuire. McGuire really gets fooled by that and goes right after it.
Way outside with the breaking ball, so the count to McGuire 1-2. And the thing you got to be concerned with, obviously, if you're working yourself back, is your arm strength. Hopefully you don't pull any muscles. Another breaking ball outside. That'll leave the count up at 2-2. But the most important thing is to, you know, have a quality start, but you know that the arm strength is not there, and that's the one thing you want to see build up as you continue on with your rehab. And only 83 pitches in his last outing in Norwich, Connecticut. As McGuire pops this one up, I mean a major league pop-up with a high sky. It won't be easy. Girardi is there, and he somehow comes down with it. Boy, when that ball goes up today, you need a lot of help. High sky, but David Cone finishes his first inning on his comeback. No score between the A's and the Yankees.
Never thought.
Well, back at Oakland as we go to the second inning, but this is the first inning and Cone's comeback as he strikes out Tony Bautista. A good pitch, and obviously a lot of glad handing in the Yankee dugout with David Cone back in uniform and pitching in a regular season game.
Okay, you got through the first inning. Relax.
And Cecil Fielder leads it off for the Yankees here in the top of the second inning. Strike one to Cecil. Cecil batting .251, 32 home runs, 98 RBIs. Inside for a ball, 1-1. Cecil 0 for 2 with a couple of walks yesterday against Finley and the California Angels, and is hitless in his last 11 ABs. Cecil has been bothered by a sore left shoulder and has taken a cortisone shot to try to relieve some of the pain, and I mean, he hits a bullet right to the shortstop boarding. And the Oakland A's put 3 men on the left side, so a good at bat for Cecil that time. He just hit it right to the shortstop.
It's ground ball right to Bordick, and he doesn't miss those at all. Right over to McGuire for the out. Bordick, one of these sure-handed shortstops. He actually was Tony La Russa's very favorite player that he ever managed, he said.
Of course, Tony La Russa no longer with the Oakland A's. His career ended here, and a fine career that he had. He's now with the St. Louis Cardinals. Is Art Howe, the new skipper, along with the new management and new ownership in Oakland.
It's really strange to walk into that clubhouse and Tony's not there and Dave Duncan's not there. Art Howe's done a tremendous job with this team. They're expected to be a terrible team, playing very well, particularly lately.
And Martinez, 1 ball, 1 strike count to Tino. Prieto, one of those young pitchers, along with Art Howe, the new skipper.
Very different kind of managerial tactics by Howe. Very patient, very quiet.
High fly ball, but not deep enough in the left field. Giambi fighting that sun, and it's high sky today, and maybe the high sky and the sun, the bright sunshine, may play a role in today's ball game. I hope not, but as Art Howe looks on with his sunglasses on.
Gorgeous day today. Not a cloud in the sky. 70 degrees. A lot different from where we were a couple of days ago, huh?
Well, all you have to do is drive across that Bay Bridge into San Francisco. The temperature and the whole day changes overnight, like night and day.
You know all about that,
oh,
don't
do
you?
I ever. Don't start me on that, please. As Strawberry swings, fouls the first pitch back and out of play.
All those nights at Candlestick wrapped around with those coats.
Strawberry batting .276, 10 home runs, 31 RBIs. 1-1 to count to the straw man.
It's different over here, right? It's a little warmer in Oakland.
Much different. It's beautiful over here on this side, which is called the East Bay, and even on beyond left field, beyond those hills over there in Walnut Creek, Alamo, etc. It's even probably 10, 15, 20 degrees warmer beyond those hills. Now, once you start from there back towards San Francisco, the temperature may drop 40 degrees with a 30-mile-an-hour wind. Strawberry went around, so it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count for the straw man.
So you're saying the same guy that gave Bob Watson Pat Listache sold the Giants that place on the water? I'm sorry.
No, I don't think so. But Sal Bando did play here. Strawberry looks at a fastball right down Broadway, obviously looking for something else as the Yankees are gone here at the top of the second inning. We played 1.5 here in Oakland. No score.
Let's take a look at the Delta upcoming schedule, brought to you by the American Express Delta Sky Miles credit card. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock right here on WPIX, 10:30 Wednesday here at Oakland again on MSG, and then the weekend series with the Toronto Blue Jays all on MSG.
Baroja leads it off for the A's here in the second inning, and Cone misses outside for a ball. Baroja, 287 batter, 35 home runs, 92 RBIs. Lines one into center field. Bernie on the run and right in front of the warning track. Catches up with it. Nice play for Bernie. Only chance for Williams on that play was to get a good jump on the ball, and he saw it nicely off the bat.
Bernie really plays this one very well, and it's the first time in a long time we haven't seen Geronimo Baroja either on the base paths or hitting one out of here. He is an absolute Yankee killer. Lifetime, Bobby. Hits .333 with 12 homers and 36 ribby.
Scott Brocious bats, and a good fastball catches the outside corner, strike one. Now David Cone seems to be settling down after that first inning when Cone walked 2 of the 4 men that he faced. Had a little trouble finding the strike zone. Good breaking ball swung on to miss, strike 2. Now Tony working in front of Brocious, 0-2.
Brocious having a terrific year. Brocious played every position for Tony La Russa, really fooled on that pitch on the outside part of the plate. Now really has found a home here with Art Howe, plays just about every day.
This is outside. Of course, when you know David Cone and his personality, the makeup that he had, you just had to figure that if everything went halfway right, that Cone would be back pitching for the Yankees before this season was over with. And obviously the aneurysm is a very serious situation. And if you just go back and look at May the 2nd, and that's when he had the aneurysm, right. He pitched a complete game against the Chicago White Sox. And he won that ball game as he gave up only 1 run and 5 base hits. Popped up behind home plate. And Girardi once again fighting that high sky. And believe me, ladies and gentlemen, that is not an easy play. And it's a lot harder for the catcher is to turn around and kind of twist his neck a little bit. But he's done a fine job in 2 tries so far. And
really, there is no cloud anywhere here at all. It's very, very bright. The glare is very big. You know, you're talking about David and what he pitched with that day against the Chicago White Sox. That shows you what this guy is made of. And he might have been a little nervous in the first inning, but he loves this kind of pressure. There are very few people that thrive on it the way David Cone does.
And Terry Steinbach takes a pitch on the outside corner for a called strike. One of the other pluses having David Cone back, he actually loosens the clubhouse up a bit. And the Yankees obviously have been playing some not good baseball here in the last couple of weeks, but they all had a smile on their face.
Well, one of the things that David said he hoped he could do, he told me that maybe I can make it kind of a residual effect. Maybe if I go out and pitch well, then the next guy, there will be some pressure taken off of him so that everybody doesn't take it on themselves. He said, I'll take the pressure. I don't mind it. I'm used to it.
Misses inside, 1-2 to Steinbach, who's also having a wonderful year for the A's. Swings and misses, strike 3, so Cone has struck out 2 in the ball game. And he mows down the A's here in the second. 1, 2, 3. We've played 2. No score.
Now the the American Express road notes. Here are the remaining games. 2 here in Oakland, then 3 in Detroit, 4 in Toronto, and 4 big games with the Boston Red Sox at the end of the year. That could be very interesting,
Get
huh?
me a ticket, will you?
That place
I
is going to
wanna
be
be
jumping,
there.
isn't it?
You bet.
David Cohn along with bench coach Don Zimmer.
And Charlie the Hitman Hayes leads it off for the Yankees here in the 3rd. High fly ball, foul territory over towards the first base side. And McGuire looks up into that sun and makes the play. 1 gone. That'll bring up Mariano Duncan.
Charlie thanking General Manager Bob Watson over and over and over for getting him out of Pittsburgh and
Well, he
bringing
said
him
he
in.
gained about 23 games in the standings.
Thank you, man. He kept going, thank you, man. I really mean it. Thank you, man.
And Charlie, what a debut he had. A couple of key base hits in California, drove in 3 runs. He was 0 for yesterday as the Yankees lost again to Chuck Finley. Mariano Duncan steps in with 1 gone. Strike 1 to Mariano.
Isn't it amazing with Finley? He's got an ERA of under .75 with the Yankees, but he's got an ERA of 4 for the rest of the league, so somebody's hitting him.
And I think he increased his record to the 500 mark by beating the Yankees. He was under pitching under 500, his win-loss record, until he beat the Yankees yesterday.
And he's beat them now 4 times this year?
At least.
Yeah, 4 times. So we'd be only out of 8 wins if it weren't for the Yankees.
2-1 the count to Duncan. Talking about pitching, the A's had their consecutive shutout streak snapped yesterday. This is the Oakland A's pitching staff at 29 innings when Boston finally scored against them. Those 29 innings equal the 3rd longest consecutive scoreless inning streak in Oakland history. Now, this is a young, up-and-coming staff.
And you've got Prieto, and you've got Dave Tailgater, who we're going to see day after tomorrow, Don Wengert. There's young Willie Adams out of Stanford. I mean, this isn't Stewart, Bob Welsh, no. Mike Moore.
On the ground towards the second base side is Bautista. Throws out Duncan. 2 gone. So you got to really be impressed if you're Art Howell in this Oakland organization with what the young pitching staff is doing. And then you take a look at the offense, and they're leading the major leagues with 219 home runs as a team and 105 home runs here at the Oakland Coliseum. Now, obviously, this stadium and the reconstruction of the stadium has proven to be more of a home run hitter's ballpark than what it was in the past.
Then the scoreless streaks by the pitchers have even been more impressive because they've been doing it here. 219. Look at this.
They keep a home run total out into left center field. Major league record of 240. They're in pursuit of that. As Girardi hits one past Brocious down the left field line, could be extra bases. Girardi will try for second. The throw is cut off. So Girardi with a 2-out double here in the 3rd.
And that's something, Bobby, that you like to see out of this team now, and it's starting to happen again. Here's the pitch from Prieto. It's high. It hangs right there. Girardi hits it right down the line, never stops, goes right to second base, taking the extra base. That's something this team did the first couple of months of the year and kind of slowed down. Now they're back to it again.
So the Yankees picks up their first base hit. It took 9 guys to do it, as Prieto had sent down 8 Yankees in a row. Derek Jeter now gets a chance to bat for the 2nd time with a man on at second. Jeter flied out to right field his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Prieto misses outside for a ball. Prieto only 26 years old. 6'3", 225 pounds. So he's no small guy. Foul back out of play. In fact, today, when they sign kids out of high school and college, they don't even look at them unless they're about 6'3", and normally they're about 6'5" on up. They're the biggest I've ever seen in my life.
They got a couple of them here. The kid Brian Lesher, who they brought up the other day, he's about 6'5". Willie Adams, one of the pitchers we just showed, he's a big guy.
I guess when they say Hey, big guy. They mean it, right?
Prieto, the A's were talking today. Prieto 0-3 in his 3 complete games with an ERA of about 2, but he's faced Roger Clemens and Chuck Finley. He faces everybody's #1 guy in today's base at David Cohn.
2-1 to count on Derek. 2 gone. Girardi down at second. A little high and tight, so that'll loosen up Girardi at the plate. But he'll hit in front of the count, 3-1. Well, I want to wish my son a happy birthday today. He's celebrating his birthday back in New York. Son Todd. And he'll be given a party by my daughter who's in New York.
Oh, wow.
So she's going to give him a party this evening in New York. So if you see a bunch of young adults hanging around New York having a good time, that's probably going to be them.
Oh, that's great. Happy birthday, Todd.
Won't be calling me to get you out of a jam.
You're too far away.
But have a good time anyway. You know, a funny thing about it is 20 years ago, when I was playing for San Francisco, he had his 7th birthday party over at Candlestick Park. They all froze to death. They had to leave in about the 3rd
So they're staying in here. You're telling me your son is now 27?
27 years old.
How did that happen?
My wife took 11 kids over to Candlestick to celebrate the party. Jeter swings and misses, strikes out as Girardi is stranded at second base. So the Yankees do not score here in the 3rd inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still no score here in Oakland. Well, listen to this. Tonight on Seinfeld, it's a night of crossed lines, star-crossed lovers, and even cross-dressers. Well, Jerry's crossed wires in with a love connection. Are the Costanzas calling it quits after all these years? Will Kramer's boys find a home? And will George discover the Cape Crusaders' true identity? See for yourself tonight on Seinfeld here on WB Channel 11. I mean, they got a lot going on tonight, man.
Well, Scooter will watch it, and then he'll call us and tell us what's going on.
He should be interested in a couple parts of that.
I think you're
Bottom of the 3rd inning as Kerwin Moore leads it off. Sends one high and deep into right field. Paul O'Neill looking up, and on the warning track comes down with it. So Moore flies deep. 1 gone.
Kerwin Moore, one of those kids they just brought up from AAA a few days ago. Usually doesn't hit high fly balls like that. Leadoff type hitter. Looks like it's a tough sun out there for O'Neill.
It is a tough sun. I can guarantee you that with no clouds in the sky, what happens is that when the ball goes up, it has no background for it to bounce off of. So your perception is it looks like if you know what a golf ball looks like, if you throw it up in the air, high in the air, that's what a baseball will look like. Mike Bordick takes one outside. Bordick batting .225, 5 home runs, 45 RBIs, no score. Pops it up right side. Easy play for Tino Martinez. And he once again fights the sun, and 2 gone. So no doubt David Cohn has settled down after the 1st inning. And Cohn now has retired 6 in a row.
And Tino having trouble with the sun there. You know what you like to see now is that David is getting outs on 1 pitch, 2 pitches.
So the A's have now batted around against Cohn, and Jose Herrera will bat for the 2nd time. It was the first batter that Cohn faced since coming back, and Jose Herrera threw 4 balls as Herrera walked. But it's a different story this time around. Herrera, a big swing and a miss, strike 1.
Herrera, only 23, 24 years old. Came over in the Ricky Henderson deal from Toronto. He's one of those tools guy. You know, he can do everything. Plays both left and right field for you.
Can he play the piano?
Probably. Good leadoff type hitter. Good leadoff hitter.
Cohn out in front, 0-2.
Like most youngsters, he looks like he's having problems picking up the breaking ball.
Foul off to the left side. One thing that I used to notice here at the Coliseum as Torrey and Stottlemyre obviously looking on and maybe counting the pitches that Cohn has thrown so far through 2 2/3. And they're looking over their record books that they keep as a team and as individuals. Inside for a ball, 1-2. I call them reference notes. and you make your own personal notes about different things, different hitters, different ballparks, etc. Swing and a miss, strike 3. David Cone is certainly back as he strikes out his third Oakland A's and is now set down 7 in a row. No score. We've gone through 3 here in Oakland.
We're back at the Oakland Coliseum. Here's today's trivia question. Only one player since Babe Ruth has led the American League in RBIs for 3 straight seasons. Can you name this active player? There's no score here as we go to the top of the 4th, and here's Rick Cerone. Beautiful day here in Oakland.
Nice.
Isn't
I like
nice?
this new ballpark. I like what they've done with it.
How would you like to sit up on that upper deck, though?
That's nosebleed section. It's almost as bad as where they put the ESPN crew today.
Where are they?
They're way down. They got euchre seats today. I gave Buck Martinez a little ribbing. They said, boy, couldn't you guys do better than this booth? They said, yeah, well, you know.
Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill, and Cecil Fielder for the Yankees here in the top of the 4th. No score. Ariel Prieto. Have you watched him? You've been watching him. He's terrific.
He's got a good
very
slider.
impressive, isn't he?
Very impressive for a guy who never really pitched in the minor leagues. Came right out of that independent league in the West Coast and signed the 5th pick by Oakland last year right to the big leagues.
We were talking before Art Howe sent him down to stay in the minors a little bit. There's a grounder over to second. Batista up with it over to McGuire, and Williams is retired. The A's think that about 30 days in the minor leagues really showed him the difference. This is the major leagues, this is the minor leagues, this is the major leagues, this is the minor leagues. Because since he's come back, he's just been tremendous.
I was talking to Ray Fossey, the announcer here, and he said, well, what he used to do warming up, he used to throw slow sliders, just, you know, flip them up there, and then all of a sudden come into the ball game and expect to throw the real hard slider. And that's where he put that stress on his elbow. I mean, it wasn't like he was sent to the minor leagues.
No, before he got.
Yeah, he was on a rehab.
Yeah, rehab.
But in other
words,
words,
kept him down there the full 30 days.
It was good thinking. In other words, he's down there. He's not really getting a good workout before he went to the mound. He was just lollipopping his breaking ball up there and then expected to throw a hard one in the game.
O'Neill struck out in the 1st inning. Little outside. 1-1 the count to O'Neill. There's no score here on top of the 4th. I'm talking before what Art Howe has done with this young pitching staff. It's really amazing if you look at the names on this pitching staff and what they've been able to accomplish so far. There's a liner back up the middle that's fielded by Kerwin Moore in center, and O'Neill is on at first.
Well, that's a perfect approach by Paul O'Neill on a changeup away. If you try to pull that ball, you're going to pull it on the ground. He just took it right back up the middle. This is a great shot from home plate. Look at this little changeup on the outside part of the plate. Oh, man. It makes you realize how close a pitcher is to the batter. You just don't have time to react to that baseball off the bat.
That brings up Cecil Fielder. Cecil grounded a shortstop in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. Cecil, as we said, having a little problem with that shoulder.
Well, I also think Suzyn's trying to hit 3- and 4-run homers with nobody on base. You can't do that. Just got to be yourself, play your own game. He's right now in a mire of an 0-for-8 slump. So just contribute what you normally do. Let's drive in some big runs for the Yankees.
There's a grounder over to Bordick. He'll take it himself to second. Over to McGuire, double play. And no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 3.5, there's no score.
Welcome back to Oakland. 0-0 ball game. Let's take a look at the batting leaders brought to you by Heineken. And these are the AL hit leaders. Paul Molitor, you're supposed to be retired, out of the game at 40 years old. What are you doing? Only needs 18 more hits for 3,000 his career. Alex Rodriguez, Lofton, Alomar, and Mo Vaughn. But Alex Rodriguez, too, with that 189 hits, came into today batting .376.
Bottom of the 4th inning, no score here. Tony Batista leads off for the Oakland A's. He struck out looking. in the first inning. When you watch Cone, you've been sitting here watching. What do you see? You see him progressing. He's getting more back to being David Cone after that first inning.
First inning, just overthrowing, using his breaking ball more now for sure.
High pop-up. It's in that sun again. It looks like Jeter's taking charge, and he gets it for the first out. Boy, this sun is giving everybody an awful lot of trouble.
You know, not just the sun, Susan. I know we always talk about the high sky with no clouds. It's hard to really pick up the ball. But the wind here, since they added that big section in center field, it's really a swirling wind. There's no way to tell which direction the ball is going to be carrying or what the wind is going to do to the ball. It is very difficult, and speaking to a lot of the Oakland players, they say that's been the biggest adjustment for them, handling the wind and the way it just circles inside the stadium.
Jason Giambi up for the second time. He walked in the first inning. Jason batting .308. Nice line drive hitter. Gets hurt a lot. 81 strikeouts, though, this year for him.
Now you see the good split finger from Cone. You know, he's got everything working for me. He's also
using everything,
yeah,
right?
He's dropping down against the right-hand hitters. Very compact delivery. See, real strong, long stride, and drives right through the target. A key for David today is the pitches, of course. That's why we're keeping a record of him. That's his 42nd pitch in the fourth inning. He's on about 100 pitch count.
2-1 the count to Giambi. A little inside and low. Ball 3. 3-1 the count. How many of those do you think were in the first inning? Because most of them were in that first inning. He had a very easy second inning and a very easy third inning.
Yeah, the first inning he was just pumped up. He wanted to do too much. Now he's settled in.
For the second time this afternoon, Giambi's on at first, and that, of course, brings up Mark McGwire. We were saying before that David just likes the challenge.
He likes this.
He likes I know he does.
I mean, he thought he was going to be able to come back in September and work his way into shape. Well, things have changed since David's been away. And look at the size of Mark McGwire's arms. Every time I see him, they keep getting bigger and bigger. After a ball game, he's in the weight room pounding the weights.
He's having a tremendous year, batting .324, 46 homers. He was going for number 47 right there.
He just gets the bat through the hitting area quicker than most guys. Look at this. He sees the fastball. He just ties up his hands if you're David Cone. Don't let him really extend those arms on you.
Have you always been amazed at how quick his bat goes through the zone? Because he's such a big guy. There's a high pop-up. Bernie Williams seems to be underneath that one. Doesn't need to shade his eyes on this one. McGwire's out.
Well, McGwire's a guy that you cannot go to the concession stands because a lot of things happen in a hurry. You mentioned him getting through the hitting area quickly. That's the key to hitting home runs. It's not really how big and strong you are. It helps if you're strong, but it's bat speed. And he's got tremendous leverage because of his size.
And here comes Geronimo Baroa, one-man Yankee killer.
Yeah, 12 home runs in his career against the Yankees.
How about this year? 11 for 34, 3 homers and 5 RBIs this year. Kills this team. Batting .287, 35 homers, 92 RBI on the year. He flied out to Bernie in the second inning. Swing and a miss by Burrow. Very busy bat.
Well, yeah, you know what that is, Susan, and you know, you're reading my mind today. That's good. I like that. But what it is he's just, watch, see the shaking? All that does is loosens up his arms. He doesn't get real stiff and real tight. That's just his trigger mechanism. Every hitter has one.
0-2 the count on Baroa. No score here. Bottom of the fourth inning. Cone looks tremendous, doesn't he? That's the fourth strikeout for David Cone. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 man left down base at the end of 4. There's no score.
Welcome back and take a look at David Cone. 49 pitches through 4 innings, 21 balls and 28 strikes. And they're kind of easy pitches.
Well, he looks like he's throwing very free, right?
Yeah, except for that first inning, he was just overthrowing a little bit.
Steve Donahue, assistant trainer, going over, checking him out. They're going to monitor him very, very closely. This isn't any panic move. This isn't something we need you here. Go do it and, you know, throw caution to the wind. Gina Martinez leads off here in the top of the 5th. It'll be Martinez, Strawberry, and Charlie Hayes against Ariel Prieto. Ball backing out of play. Martinez flew to left field to Giambi in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1 for the afternoon. 0-2 count on him. Still want to know how many of those pitches were in that 1st inning. There were a lot there. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside for ball 1 as Prieto wastes one.
Yeah, pitch counts are something. If there's constantly men on base and you have to make real tough pitches with guys in scoring position, are a lot different than.
Martinez looks at a call, 3rd strike. That's the 4th strikeout for Prieto on the afternoon.
Now he goes to the good. That's almost a curveball. See, he gets a little couple of different breaks on that slider. That one more had a downward action and just froze Martinez.
That'll bring up Darryl Strawberry. He struck out looking in the 2nd inning. One of Prieto's 4 strikeouts on the afternoon. Came in batting .276, 10 homers, 31 RBI for Darryl. Looks at a call strike. Darryl's still bothered a little bit by that Achilles tendon. I think he's going to play with that, Rick, for the rest of the season. Just a question of how much pain it gives him.
Little shin splints.
It comes from he's got a problem with the Achilles tendon. There it is. And of the right foot, and I think that's what gives him the shin splints, because you try and compensate. Outside. And of course, also the shin splints. Remember, Darryl hasn't been used to playing the outfield for a long time.
The running back and forth on the outfield. And
Seattle didn't help anybody, all those games in the turf. 1-1 the count to Darryl.
I'll tell you, Prieto's impressed me. He's kept the ball out of the middle of the strike zone. Little fastball here, good slider, change up. Toughest thing for him is that he hasn't really gotten a lot of run support when he's pitched.
We were talking about
I mean, it's unbelievable. And it's always a guy, and he says, well, I'm always pitching on the wrong day. Yeah, you're pitching against
Roger
Cone and Clemens.
Finley.
Yeah, they have something to do with it also.
1-2 the count to Darryl. Prieto's got a great rhythm going, too. He pitches very, very quickly.
And you have to step out against him. A guy like this that's settling in, make them pause a little bit. You see Darryl's right back in the box ready to go. When a pitcher has a good rhythm, try to do whatever you can. Grab some dirt, break up that rhythm if you can.
2-2 the count to Strawberry. It's a swing and a miss. Darryl's down for the 2nd time on strikes. That's 5 strikeouts for Ariel Prieto, and he is very impressive.
Out of the middle of the plate, just teased him with the high fastball. With 2 strikes, a hitter's more apt to swing at bad pitches. See this ball? It looks good to hit, but you're not going to catch up to a 90-plus fastball up above the letters. Whereas if you maybe had a 2-0 count, you know, you're sitting looking for an area, you won't swing at that high pitch.
Charlie Hayes now at the plate with 2 down, 2 strikeouts for Prieto. Charlie fouled out to McGuire in the 3rd inning. He's 0 for 1. He takes the ball.
Charlie wanted to know if I was the PR director. No, that's the other Cerone, the R squared.
1R and 2R, we call you. There's a high fly ball. Herrera going back. He camps under it. And that's it for the Yankees. Top of 4.5. There is no score here in Oakland.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by Heineken, true to the original recipe since 1886.
We're in the bottom of the 5th here at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
That's a mouthful. Oakland.
Oakland Coliseum.
There
Scott Brocious on the mound against David Cone. We were talking about the breakdown of the pitches, Rick. He threw 17 pitches in the 1st inning, 11 in the 2nd, 9 in that 3rd. That was his easiest inning, and 12 in that 4th inning.
And more importantly for David, it's the first pitch strikes, working ahead in the count. 8 of the 14 batters, he's been able to get that first pitch called a strike.
You know, worried about his pitch count, worried about how he's throwing. He has given up a hit.
Are we supposed to be talking about that stuff? I mean, remember when they have no hitters going? You don't say that stuff. That's another thing that, I mean, just think about if it goes another inning or two, you don't want to think
people
about
go nuts anyway. Well, 100 pitches, take them out. Scott Brocious popped up to Girardi in the second inning. Brocious, one of these all-around players, does everything well. Terrific play. 30 years old now. He pops one up. Tino blocking his eyes once again, trying to get it. He gives way to Mariano Duncan, who takes it for the out.
Oh, okay, Susan. Here's the answer to today's trivia question. Only one player since Babe Ruth has led the American League in RBIs for 3 consecutive seasons. Can you name this active player? Well, you can just look in the Yankee dugout. It's Cecil Fielder, who was playing for the Tigers in 90, 91, and 92. You notice on there it said RBIs?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I know you have a little thing with that, RBI or RBIs.
Just because it's written doesn't mean it's correct.
That's, I like that. And a lot of times, Cecil, a lot of times those trivia questions and the answers we've been given, you know, sometimes they're not always 100% accurate either.
There's Cecil. Terry Steinbach out now. He struck out in the second inning. Steinbach having a tremendous year. 31 homers, 90 RBI. He's a what do you call them? Mistake hitters. If someone makes a mistake, Terry will hit it out of the park.
He punishes you.
Not that time.
Not a mistake on that slider from down under from Cone.
That's the second time Steinbach struck out.
See
5.
the little different arm angle, Susan?
Yep.
See, he just drops a little to the side. Look at this. I mean, now you just see his front hip. If we could see that one more time, you can really see his front hip just open up, and it's gone, and he has nothing left.
So Cone, who has 5 pitches, also has 3 or 4 different arm angles on those pitches.
Yeah, he's really got 2 types of fastball, 2 different types of breaking ball. One that he makes a little bigger sweep to it, a little shorter break. And then he's got the split finger. Toughest guy for me was, remember John Montefiusco?
Oh,
the
sure,
count?
sure.
Well, he had like 7 different pitches. And I just only had 5 fingers. So I had a tough time with the count. I used to say, Count, go ahead, Count. You just throw whatever you want, and I'll try to catch it.
Kerwin Moore up now. Kerwin Moore, not really a prospect, but they thought they'd take a look at him, and they sent Phil Plantier down. Bring up this kid, see what he's got.
That's that split finger. Just looks like a fastball, and at the last minute drops out of the strike zone.
See, this is a kid who shouldn't be trying to hit balls up in the air. Paul O'Neill takes it in. Another strong inning for David Cone. We are through 5, and there is no score. We're back in the top of the 6th inning. Cone and Prieto. There's Cone talking to Stottlemyre. What do you think they're talking about?
How he feels.
How do you feel?
And, you know, nice, easy pitches going for Cone. Look, almost talking about maybe going over a certain hitter, and look at, he's talking about getting some action on his fastball. That's what you do if you're a pitching coach. Just really listen to what the pitcher has to say and offer some advice.
Top of the 6th inning here. There's no score. 2 hits on the board. Both of them belong to the New York Yankees. Mariano Duncan grounded to second base his last time up. Duncan batting .324.
The thing we didn't mention today is that Prieto's making his first appearance against the Yankees. You know, even though he's been in the big leagues
That's
almost
right.
2 years, the Yankees have never faced him before. And that's a big advantage to a pitcher. I've said it over and over. If you, as a hitter, don't know what type of movement you have, a pitcher has on his fastball, how big a breaking ball does it have, almost the first couple of at-bats you give away because you're trying to feel out that pitcher.
1-2 the count to Mariano Duncan. There's a liner into right field. Herrera plays it on a hop, and Duncan's on at first base.
Still trying to test Mariano Duncan up in the strike zone. This guy does not miss a ball up in the strike zone. See Steinbach trying to go down. Look at that. I mean, he just goes right up to it.
And he drives it into right field every time.
It's a pretty swing. Really, if you want to learn how to hit line drives, kids out there, watch Mariano Duncan. He keeps the big part of the bat above the baseball all the time.
Girardi, one of the 2 hits this afternoon. He doubled in the 3rd inning.
And you might expect a little bunt here, get him in the scoring position if you're Torre and the Yankees. See, Joe handles the bunt real well. You can also go hit and run with Girardi.
Broch is playing in on the grass at 3rd.
For Girardi, with the runner on first, you want the first baseman to field the ball. That's why Brochus can actually get some liberties and cheat a little bit in from 3rd base. But in this situation, you want the first baseman to field the bunt.
Duncan was going with that pitch. Girardi fouled it back. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, talked about how now if a pitcher falls behind the count, Torre can change and go to the hit and run. You see Duncan, it's a hit and run because he's following the ball. See what Girardi does. Now you might go back to the bunt. See, what a guy like Girardi gives Torre options because he can handle that bat.
It's the lineup of the infield outfield also playing straight away and not very deep for Girardi. 1-1 the count to Joe. Brochus in at 3rd. Duncan at 1st. There's the bunt. Fouls it back.
Pretty good breaking ball. Tough pitch to bunt if you're a hitter. Normally you like to get that fastball to bunt. Ball down in the strike zone. You see Willie Randolph relaying the message from Torre. Randolph takes it from Torre, gets it, and then gives it back to Girardi.
All right, you got 1-2 count. A good contact hitter at the plate.
Now you're just on your, you're on your own. You let Girardi try to take a shot at that hole between 1st and 2nd. Run's good, tough to double up. He has to hit a ball on the nose to hit into a double play.
1-2 pitch. Girardi takes it outside.
See, Torre, little signs to Randolph. Randolph will get him, and now Girardi takes him. Oh, I mean, there's communication going on every single pitch in a ball game.
2-2 the count to Joe Girardi. We're in the top of the 6th. There's no score. Prieto and Cone.
On the other side, in the other dugout, Art Howell's trying to control the running game. He's going to relay signs to Steinbach. When for his pitcher to throw over to 1st base. Actually, see Bob Cluck. Bob Cluck is going to give the signs. I mean, there's a lot of signs going on.
2-2 the count to Girardi. Duncan at 1st. There goes Duncan. Foul back.
You see Duncan looking at Randolph. Girardi looking at Randolph. And there's Willie's.
This is great, isn't it?
You had Duncan going again, moving. Girardi just wanted to put, as a hit and run, what you try to do is just make the infielder field the ball. If you get a base hit, great. But try to keep it out of the air, keep it on the ground, advance the runner.
See, this is exactly the way they were playing earlier this year. We used to call it little ball, all these kinds of things. It really helps.
Manufacture some runs.
2-2 the count still to Girardi. Duncan at 1st. Throw over.
I mentioned about Bob Cluck, the pitching coach. His signs to Steinbach are not really calling the pitches. See, people back at home, they think sometimes they see a guy calling, you know, relaying signs to the catcher. You're not calling pitches. Howell's doing it, Cluck's doing it, everybody's doing it. But they're really trying to slow down the running game.
So liner through into center field. Girardi's on, and you got men on 1st and 2nd with nobody out in the top of the order coming up. Also, with all these kinds of things going on, it takes a little focus off the batter and the.
Well, it slows down play, Susan. First of all, it'll slow down play. It also take the pitcher's concentration maybe a little bit away
Right.
from the hitter. But that's a nice piece of hitting by Girardi, especially with 2 strikes.
And we'd been talking before how Prieto was getting into a nice rhythm, and you were saying step out of the box. That's another way to do it.
Well, the other way to do it is to get base runners on.
Right.
The game slows down. And now you talk about it's another bunt situation for Jeter. First and second. Now the third baseman, Brocious, was just giving the infield signs. He was just up a little bit before on the grass, letting the infielders know what play they have on.
He went
in
over.
this situation, excuse me,
Go ahead.
you want the third baseman to field the bunt.
You see McGuire's playing in on the grass. Brocious in the grass at third.
And the reason that you want the third baseman to field it, because he has to come forward, leave his base, and the set guy on second, Duncan, can go in easily.
Now look at Brocious. Brocious is watching Willie Randolph, who's giving the signs to Jeter.
Yeah, he's not that smart. Those signs are too tough to pick up.
1-0 to Jeter. Squares to bunt.
But you brought
Takes
up
it
a
for a
good
ball.
point, Susan. It breaks the pitcher's tempo. We talked about what happens. Well, now he's focusing on so many different things. See, look, see Brocious, he's checking Willie out. Now he's calling.
He's calling signs.
Yeah. And well, what kind of signs do the infielders have? Well, there's different bunt plays that you go over in spring training.
And meanwhile, all this has taken focus away from Prieto.
Exactly.
2-0 to Derek Jeter. There goes Duncan. There's a fly ball in the left field. Giambi over, center fielder Kerwin Moore will take it. And there's one away.
Well, Torrey gambled. He went to the hit and run with Jeter. He just got a bad pitch up in the strike zone. Talked about on the hit and run, you want to put it on the ground. That time Jeter did not do his job. He got the ball in the air and was unable to advance the runners.
And that'll bring up Bernie Williams. He's 0 for 2 today.
See, that's a fastball 2-0. Jeter's swing there. It looks like he's trying to lift the ball. Hit and run situation, you want to put it on the ground if you can.
Duncan at second, Girardi at first, one away here in the top of the 6th. Bernie Williams at the plate. Bernie hitting .297 on the season, but only .255 from the left side. There's a grounder over to McGuire. He'll take it himself for the out. Runners move up, and there's 2 away.
Now, if Jeter had moved the runners along, it'd be a 1-0 ball game now. You would think the infield would have been back, conceding the 1 run, but instead now it'll take a 2-out hit from O'Neill.
O'Neill 1 for 2 on the afternoon, struck out in the first inning, singled to center in the 4th. Duncan at third, Girardi at second, Paul O'Neill at the plate.
And now bring out Art Howell out from the dugout with first base open, discuss the possibilities with Prieto.
Now, would he rather pitch to O'Neill or to Fielder?
Well, O'Neill's been swinging the hot bat. Fielder has not had a hit his last 13 times up. This is what you talk about. Right here, you want a manager to take control. One way or the other. You want him to just either say, okay, let's put him on or go after him. Don't try to pitch around him, because that's when you get burned. See what they've decided, Susan. This is I like this inning. I mean, it gives us time to talk about the different things that go on inside the game.
Well, you like to see both teams doing something.
Now, I think this is going to be the classic example of trying to pitch around Paul O'Neill. Lots of times pitchers get burned by this.
There's ball 1. Now, if you're going to pitch around him, why don't you just put him on?
Well, you hope a hitter. That's how I liked it. That's what I said. Either you put him on or you pitch to him. Don't try to pitch around
I
them.
mean, I would think percentage-wise it isn't going to work. If you make a mistake to O'Neill, he'll smack it.
And
might as well just put him on.
That's how I always felt. But if you have a pitcher with decent control, you can get away with it sometimes.
1-0 pitch. There's 2-0.
Now, I mean, now he's falling behind 2-0. You might as well just put him on. I mean, you don't want to take the chance, and I think that's what Howell's decided. They were going to take 2 shots at it, 2 pitches out of the strike zone, and maybe the hitter would expand the zone.
Now we'll go to the intentional walk. O'Neill did have a base hit off of Prieto in the 4th inning that smashed to center field. He also struck him out.
Well, this is just the thing that Cecil needs to get going. Because, you know, you've been struggling. Now this is like rubbing dirt into some wounds. This is the guy, fielder, who's brought over here to drive in the big runs, has more home runs and RBIs than any player in the 90s. This might be a little wake-up call for Cecil.
Maybe thinks he's a little insulted, walking Paul O'Neill to get to Cecil Fielder.
Concentrate just a little bit more.
And Joe Torre saying Cecil Fielder has been trying to hit 5-run home runs. 6 of them here. Struck out 122 times this season already. It would be a good spot for Cecil. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Cecil Fielder at the plates. He was going for it.
Yeah, that's it. Go ahead.
He's looking for that 362 side right over there.
But you know what? He's a pretty good RBI guy. Look at this. Okay, that's 1. He just aired that out. He wanted to get loose on the first one. Oakland has no infielder on the right side of the diamond besides O'Neill. 3 infielders on the left side of the diamond.
1 strike count to Fielder. Oh, and he hits him.
Oh, that's an RBI for the big guy. He didn't want it that way. He didn't want it, but he'll take it.
Take one for the team. Don Baylor did for years. And it's 1-0 Yankees on the hit batsman. Ariel Prieto hits Cecil Fielder. Duncan scores. And the bases are still loaded.
Well, that's, you know, you earned your RBI. This ball just gets away from him. I mean, that's almost...
Oh, look at Prieto.
Boy.
All that.
All the strategies come down to a bad pitch by a pitcher.
Yankees take a 1-0 lead here. We're in the top of the 6th. 2 out, bases loaded. Tino Martinez at the plate.
See Martinez just swinging over that hard slider from Prieto. We talked about in the California Angels series, 2 out base hits are what get you out of slumps. Good pitching performances and also 2 out RBIs.
This is the man who's been doing it for the last month. 0-1 count to Tino. There's a shot right to second base. Batista up with it over to McGuire, and the inning is over. But the Yankees do get 1 run on the hit batsman. Cecil Fielder hit scoring Mariano Duncan. So at the end of 5.5, it is 1-0 Yankees.
New York Yankees baseball is brought to you by the incredible I-30 from Infiniti. More flagship styling, space, and performance than you'd ever expect.
And we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's David Cone. He'll face Mike Bordick, Jose Herrera, and Tony Batista. 1-0 Yankees. 1 run, 4 hits for the Yankees. No runs, no hits so far for the Oakland A's.
60 pitches through 5 innings for David Cone.
Did you expect this?
This guy, I mean, Cone he's in a different league. He thrives on pressure. I mean, it's surprising. I mean, how well he's pitched through the first 5 innings.
That evens it up at 1-1 to Mike Bordick.
Yeah, you know, Michael Coney just mentioned, does it help that he's a little cuckoo? Well, all pitchers are a little cuckoo. They're a little off the wall. David thrives on this type of pressure.
High fly ball to O'Neill. And there's 1 away.
Just think about
I mean, you can thrive on pressure, and that's great, but your arm has to respond.
Oh, he's got a tremendous arm. I mean, look at the size of Cone. I mean, he's just a little guy.
50 pitches through 5. He didn't do that in the minor league start.
60 pitches.
He didn't do that in the minor league start.
Hey, those guys in AA, they swing the bat. But see, he's focused, he's concentrating, and he is making perfect pitches.
And how do you think Joe Torre, who we just saw, feels right now? Here's leadoff man Jose Herrera. He walked in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd.
Well, Joe Torre would feel a lot better if Wetland was activated off the DL and pitching like Wetland, because then you come into the Rivera-Wetland era. This would be a lot more comforting.
Wetland, by the way, will probably be activated, or will probably pitch on Friday, be eligible to pitch on Friday.
Right, that's what Bob Watson, the general manager, said, that he threw off the mound earlier. before Stottlemyre and Watson, and they've kind of made the decision, if everything stays the same, they'll activate him Friday.
You don't want to take a chance with the groin. 0-2 pitch to Herrera. David wastes one, and it's 1-2. Herrera, one of these kids that 24 years old, as I said, came over in the Ricky Henderson deal from Toronto. Tools guy.
Yeah, he's got a little juice
Tools
in his
guy.
bat. The ball jumps off his bat.
There's a fly ball to the left. Darrell under it. Makes the second out, and there's 2 away very quickly here in the 6th inning.
That's one of those scouting book positioning. Strawberry was down the left field line shading Herrera, and he hit it right to him.
Darrell still goes out just about every day working with Jose Cardinal on his outfield play. He's really improved. He's really improved the way where he holds the glove and his positioning and going back on balls particularly. That'll bring up Tony Batista.
Another hitter with the open stance.
Yeah.
Starts wide open and then tries to close it up back towards the pitcher. I think hitters have gone to this stance because it frees up both eyes. Look at his eyes now. They both can focus on the pitch.
0-1 count. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Batista from the Dominican Republic. He's really a shortstop, as I was saying earlier. Moved him to second base because of Bordick.
See, he never really gets closed, though, Susan. You see, he wants to close up and stride towards Cone, but that front foot did not really square up towards the pitcher.
So doesn't that stride actually make it a deficit against a guy like Cone?
Yeah, it definitely would. If you start open, you got to come up close. Not too many guys can pull off the ball and be successful. And you would think with Coney now in the 2-strike, looking for a strikeout, may come sidearm.
1-2 the count. Misses outside. Cone's talking to himself a little bit.
See, maybe just a little misses with the breaking ball, but you see even Herrera's away. Anything away from him right now, he should be able to get him.
And he did, and we're through 6. 6 strikeouts for David Cone. No runs for the A's, and at the end of 6, 1-0 Yankees.
Welcome back. Yankees have a 1-0 lead going into the top of the 7th. Let's look at the last strikeout by David Cone. That's his 6th strikeout. Pretty good movement on that fastball, foul tip, and Coney's pumped into the dugout. A little congratulations from Pettit and Doc Gooden. Yeah, Coney's all business today, all business. And I welcome back Bobby Murcer to the booth.
Thank you very much, Rick Cerone, and what a day it is for David Cone and the Yankees right now. The Yankees leading at 1-0. Darryl Strawberry takes a call strike on the inside corner. Strawman has yet to make contact. He has struck out his only 2 times up as he leads off here in the 7th inning. Now it's strike 2, 0-2 as Prieto out in front of Strawberry. Charlie Hayes on deck, followed by Mariano Duncan. And the Yankees scored that 1 run in the 6th inning. David Cone with a no-hitter so far through 6 innings.
How could you ever think that
this is
he
the
would be
most
this
amazing
good?
thing I've seen in a long time. 72 pitches through 6 innings, so he will answer the bell in the 7th. And that'll even count up now. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Strawberry.
And Prieto just pitches on the wrong day, Bobby. He's been pitching well going into the 8th inning, his last 3 starts, but he just matched up with the aces of the other teams. Clemens and Chuck Finley and David Cone. He's pitched well.
He's fallen behind 3-2 now to Strawberry after going out in front 0-2. And Straw delivers this one foul left side, so he hangs tough. The Yankees scored the run in the 6th inning with a leadoff single to right field by Mariano Duncan. And Girardi followed up with a base hit. Jeter flying out. Bernie Williams grounded out, moving the runners over. Intentionally walked to O'Neill, and then a hit pitch. Hit batsman, that is, by Cecil Fielder. Straw around on the split-fingered fastball, strikeout. Number 5 for Prieto.
And that's 3 times for Strawberry today. That's the hat trick. Look at that slider or forkball down. And that is just an emergency hack. You just couldn't hold up on it.
I don't know if you picked this up or not, but I used to have a lot of problems in the daytime picking up the baseball. And if you'll take a look at the batter's eye beyond the 400 mark in dead center field as Charlie Hayes steps in, strike one to Charlie Hayes. I don't know if it's me or not, but it looks like you see that little tarpaulin out there. See how dirty and dusty and kind of white colored it is, and it's kind of moving with the wind. That's the batter's eye here at the Coliseum, and it is hard on a bright sunshiny day to pick the ball up. And if you watch these hitters, they don't look like they're having those
real good swings,
aggressive swings and good swings at some of these pitches right down the middle. Now that's just my observation.
No, you're exactly, and also the camera guys. Look at this. Does the ball come out of the camera's eye? No.
High and deep to left field. Giambi looking up, and it is gone. Charlie Hayes, a one-out home run here in the 7th inning, and the Yankees lead it 2-0 with Charlie Hitman Hayes' first Yankee home run.
Yeah, obviously he was really bothered by that batter's
Stop it.
Right on cue, Charlie Hayes hits a home run. And that's a little cushion for the Yankees. 2-0 lead with Cone on the mound, and one of the few bad pitches that Prieto made today.
So Mariano, who is 1 for 2, and he tries to take a high fastball out of here, but misses that one. One more look at him.
Wow, he got up on top. I don't know. I think that was a changeup, Bobby. I think it was a high changeup.
Really?
Because he got out in front. I don't know. It looked like a high changeup to me, where he just didn't get in good position.
If you're a hitter, that's where you want the changeups. It's high in your eyes.
And Charlie didn't miss it.
No, he didn't. He sent it a long ways. Past Bordick into left field. So Mariano with 2 base hits. He's 2 for 3. And Girardi, who is also 2 for 2, coming up.
A hit machine.
Boy, he is that.
We're going to take another look at the home run from behind home plate. Steinbach's outside. I think it's the changeup, because you see the bat head gets out in front of the plate. I don't know if he can do that on a high fastball. I just thought the way he took an approach at that. And look at this, the high wall in the outfield, but it makes the seats.
Well, we're going to have a pinch runner now for Mariano Duncan, Andy Fox, and a big smile on Hayes' face. Andy Fox will come in to run for Duncan. Fox was recalled from Norwich as the rosters expand here in September. So Andy Fox rejoining the Yankees after being sent down a couple of days ago. Back in uniform and running for Duncan. That'll bring up Girardi. 1 out here in the 7th inning. Yankees lead it 2-0. And Girardi sends one foul off to the right side. Nice piece of hitting by Joe Girardi in the 6th inning on a tough pitch as he delivered a base hit up the middle. So he's 2 for 2.
You see activity. Groom and is the left-hander, and Reyes the right-hander for the A's. Yeah, but it was a nice piece of hitting. Took the breaking ball right back up the middle off of Prieto.
If you are just tuning in, David Cone has pitched 6 innings and has a no-hitter going, as he will come out in the 7th inning, and so far the Yankees lead the A's 2-0.
In his first start since May 2nd for the New York Yankees.
In his left field for a hit, so Girardi continues his hitting. Girardi 3 for 3 this afternoon, and the Yankees have 2 men on and only 1 out.
And that'll get a little slap on the head by Jose Cardinal. I like that. He gets down to first base, you whack him on top of the helmet. But a nice piece of hitting again by Girardi, and that'll bring out a trip to the mound by Bob Cluck.
Well, all I had to do was mention
the background,
about how tough it was to see the baseball.
Look at that. Nice piece of hitting on the ball inside this time.
And you can see that he's wearing number 25, so forget about that too. as he changed his number. Remember when they made a big
yeah, that's
deal
right. I
about
forgot
when
all about
Cecil
that.
came
That's
over
right.
here and he changed numbers with Cecil, and he's put on number 25. Then he went into kind of a slump. And
well, he dropped from 317. That was the highest he was hitting this year, and came into today hitting 294 with 3 hits. He'll be right back up around
300.
That little trip to the mound just to give the bullpen time to get loose. They got to get ready in a hurry. Tight ball game like this, you need that bullpen to get, 10, 12 pitches. They get an extra 8 when they come in to the ball game from the mound, but you got to get ready in a hurry if you're in the bullpen.
Jeter 0 for 3 this afternoon. It's a chance to hit with a couple of men on once again. He was up in the 6th inning when the Yankees had 2 men on. Flying out to center. Goes the opposite way. This will be a base hit. They'll wave around Fox. Girardi will go to third. The ball gets away from Herrera. And the Yankees have now extended their lead to 3-0. But Girardi stopping at third. It looked like that Willie was going to send him on home after that bobble in right field.
You're exactly right, Bobby. It looked like Willie was thinking about sending Girardi, but a nice piece of hitting by Jeter. Now you notice the ball from Prieto's getting up in the strike zone. The Yankee hitters are getting better swings at it. The bobble, and this is where Randolph is thinking about sending him. And that's a perfect example of just taking your eye off the baseball. Look at Fox coming hard, and he'll score. And then this is where Girardi, they're thinking about sending in Girardi, but that'll be it for Ariel Prieto. Just like that, you talk about the bad background, how it's tough on the hitters, and the Yankees were listening.
Well, it was tough up until the 6th and 7th inning when they finally got adjusted to that bad background. We're going to have a pitching change here in Oakland. And while the pitching change is being made, we'll be back right after these messages. Well, back at the Coliseum, Buddy Groom, the new pitcher, taking over for Prieto. He will face Bernie Williams with runners at first and third. Only 1 out. The Yankees lead it 3-0. Girardi on at first. Jeter on at first, that is. Girardi on at third. And Bernie swings and flies one down deep to right field. Moving over is Herrera in foul territory. And he doesn't come up with it.
Well, the wind played some havoc with that fly ball, Bobby. It looked like that ball was going to be in the stands. It actually stayed on the playing field. Look at where Herrera's were actually running towards. He ran straight across, and now he has to back up towards the right field corner.
Now Art Howe turns Bernie around to bat from the right side, and that is the best side for Bernie to bat from. That's where he has done most of his damage. Well, so this could be a pretty good situation for the Yankees.
The only thing I think Art was thinking, if you put him up left-handed, he's got the hole between first and second, maybe. I know he's a 100-point different hitter from the right side of the plate.
I think he may have brought him in to face at least 2 batters. If he gets Bernie out, then he's got a Paul O'Neill, and you don't have to make an additional pitching change. If you indeed are going to take out Prieto for Williams.
Talked about Bernie. He's hitting 376 from the right side of the plate, 255 from the left side, so 121-point difference.
That's pretty significant. And a check swing foul right side. So the count remains 0-2 on Williams, 1 away here in the 7th. So the Yankees doing damage in the 6th and the 7th inning with David Cone making his comeback debut. And what a debut it is so far. There's 6 innings, no hits for the Oakland A's. Oh, a nice stop by Steinbach.
That was a nice job by Steinbach, especially with that runner on third base. Look at that's a 55-foot fastball. I mean,
like
catchers
a slider. Like
maybe a little cut fastball.
A little cut fastball or something.
A nice job of blocking that ball, keeping it in front of him.
And that's how you do it, Cerone. Well hit in the hole, base hit for Bernie. Girardi comes on to score. The Yankees lead it 4-0. So Bernie Williams, who was 0 for 3 this afternoon, batting left-handed, turns around right-handed, and gets a big base hit and an RBI.
Big base hit for the Yankees. We talked about Bernie's stronger side. Art Howell was hoping that ground ball would have been right at the third baseman where you can turn the double play. You see the breaking ball. He is just so much stronger from the right side of the plate. See the breaking ball just up in the strike zone a little bit too much.
So Bernie on at first. Jeter down at second. O'Neill, who is officially 1 for 2, fouls the first pitch back and out of play. O'Neill struck out in the first inning. Got a base hit up the middle in the 4th, and then was intentionally walked to load the bases in the 6th.
Boy, ever since the 2 days off for Paul O'Neill, hitting over 400, just a couple of days off did wonders. Also, remember, Bobby was dropped in 7th in the order. Took a little pressure off him, and now he's back in the 3 spot once he got hot.
The Yankees are playing their 8th game of this 10-game road trip. Did he go around? They'll ask the third base umpire, Merriweather, and he said yes. And then he waved to Paul.
That'll get him fired up. Paul waved or tried to blow it off, and watch this. Paul's saying no, no, with his hands, and the Merriweather waved right back. See, he really opened up. I don't know if the bat came through the hitting area.
Nevertheless, it's a strike, and it's 1-2. The count on O'Neill. Good swing by O'Neill. Fouls it on the screen. So the Yankees, who have the 4-0 lead here in the 7th, continues with their threat with 1 out. Oakland has gone to the bullpen with Buddy Groom, and that's down low. That'll leave the count up at 2-2. Reyes continues to throw in the A's bullpen. Cecil Fielder on deck for the Yankees.
There's Reyes, and there's David Cone.
This is the 2nd inning now that Cone has had the long inning with the Yankees, scoring some runs. It didn't affect him in the 6th, though. Now it's 3 balls, 2 strikes to O'Neill.
Well, Steinbach is becoming a goaltender back there. He's had to block 3 or 4 balls. Not a pleasant sight for Art Howell. Buddy Groom was pitching real well right after the All-Star break. Didn't allow a run in his first games, but now he's allowed 13 in his last 9
the
balls.
Runners go, and the pitch is swung on and fouled back and out of play. Well, you got to figure, or do you figure, that in this situation, 3-2, you're going to get a pretty good pitch, or, well, will you get one of those trick pitch with Cecil Fielder on deck?
A little bit easier.
So Cecil's got to help him out a little bit in this situation. We'll see what happens here. And the fastball is grounded right side with the runners going. They barely get the runner at second, and they turn it into a double play. 4-6-3 DP, and the Yankees are gone, but they score 3. And here comes David Cone answering the bell in the 7th inning with a no-hitter, and the Yankees leading 4-0. Well, back at the Oakland Coliseum, David Cone in the 7th inning with 72 pitches and 44 strikes in those 72 pitches. The A's have yet to get a base hit off of David Cone in his comeback debut. Yankees lead it 4-0 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Cone will be facing Jason Giambi, who has walked a couple times this afternoon, and he fouls the first pitch back and out of play. Let's take a look at some of the defensive moves. Ruben Rivera now goes into left field to replace Strawberry. And Andy Fox, who pinch ran for Duncan, stays in to play second.
Bobby, you mentioned about the 2 big innings and long innings for David Cone on the bench. You know, different pitchers react differently to that. I mean, he's got more to focus on because he has not given up a hit, but, you know, that's tough to sit there. You cool down. I think
and making your debut in his rehab, he's only thrown a total of 83 pitches in any one outing, and that was in his last outing. And this is a 100-pitch inning, or 100-pitch game for David. So he starts this inning with 72. That pitch is fouled back on a play. Now, if you're looking at it, he's got a no-hitter going. He'd have to average 9 pitches per inning to go the complete game. Which is pretty darn tough.
I don't even think Torrey's even thinking along those lines.
No, I know they're not thinking that, but I'm just saying if you're thinking about that at home, that's what he would have to do. I mean, it's possible, you know, 3 pitches get out of an inning.
The thing I was kind of referring to, sitting on there and cooling down. You know, we talked about it with Prieto. The Yankees had to really try to step out of the batter's box and make him upset his rhythm. Well, sitting on the bench for those long 2 innings, you know, you lose that sweat, the adrenaline that you have going. You have to start all over again, and that's why it takes him a little time to find his rhythm.
And a little nubber, soft liner right to Jeter, 1 gone.
With that little line drive, it's time now for the home run leaders, brought to you by Miller Lite. When you've got the great taste of an ice cold Miller Lite, life is good. And there's McGuire with 46, Bell, Griffey, Gonzalez, Brady, Anderson, 41 home runs.
And talking about home runs, Mark McGuire, who leads the American League in home runs with 46. For Matt, 1 gone here in the 7th inning. He's 0 for 2. You know, take a look at this, Cerone. The Oakland A's have 5 guys in their lineup today. You combine all the home runs, have at least an average of 30 home runs. I don't know, in a row. You start with Jason Giambi, McGuire, Baroa, Brochus, and Steinbach. All 5 of those guys combined average at least 30 home runs. I don't know, when have you ever seen a lineup with 5 guys in a row that average at least 30 home runs in a lineup?
Ever.
I don't think ever either.
I mean, you're looking at little league numbers nowadays. What the guys are putting up. We talked about it the other night. Our broadcast, Baltimore fielded a team the other day that had at least 20 home run guys, one at every position, including Murray with 20 at DH.
If you add those home runs,
that's a lot of home runs.
150 home runs.
They're on pace to hit 255 this year.
Holy cow. Well hit, and look at Charlie Hayes at third as he turned. What is the play of the game so far?
Wow, that was the play of the game. Did you notice, David, the little delay? Look at this. He feels that ball behind him, able to throw out McGuire.
The batter, designated hitter, Geronimo Baroa.
Whoa, what a big league play.
Look at Coney's little hesitation. That was the Louis Tion. Huh? And look at the play off the bat by Charlie Hayes. They talked about his defense also when he came over here.
2 outs and Baroa batting. A little chopper foul. Nobody warming up for the Yankees in their bullpen. We're at the bottom of the 7th inning, 2 gone. Yankees lead it 4-0. Oakland still with no hits.
He's got a little get-up going now, Bobby. You know, this is Cone at his best. You see how he's got that little hop on the rubber? That is just, you know, you start feeling it. You start feeling good, and he's got that little extra.
High and deep into center field. Bernie on the warning track, leaps and makes the catch. What a play by Bernie Williams in center field. Oh, I can't believe it.
2 tremendous plays back-to-back for the Yankees, and it keeps Cone's no-hitter intact through 7.
Well, back at the Coliseum, and David Cone getting some congratulations as he pitches through 7 innings. The Yankees lead at 4-0, and some great plays have followed David Cone's debut performance this afternoon. And he looks like he is extremely emotional As Cecil Fielder leads it off for the Yankees here in the 8th inning. Strike one to Cecil. The Yankee bullpen begins to stir as it looks like Mariano Rivera obviously getting up to warm up for the Yankees. Cecil fouls that pitch back and out of play. It's an 0-2 count on Cecil. Well, it looked like Coney was a little emotional.
Well, I think he's maybe a little upset. Maybe that's enough for him. We don't know if he's going to be taken out of the ball game. You know the competitor he is. He's got a no-hitter going. He wants to stay in there. But what's a couple of great plays by Hayes and Bernie Williams.
Well, 85 pitches. Cone has thrown through 7 innings.
Great ratio for David Cone.
He's not at the 100. But obviously it looks like the Yankees will make a change. I'm not going to speculate in the 8th inning, but we'll have to wait and see. Rivera is warming up.
He's still got the coat on. He's staying there. Well, I think he may be going out to start the inning, and they'll just have Rivera ready.
High and deep. Say goodbye if it's fair. Fair ball. Cecil Fielder. Line shot into left field. And the Yankees lead it 5-0.
And in the second deck. And now you're going to have a little argument. This is going to be a little controversial call. Chuck Merriweather, the third base coach. Art Howell's up. He called it fair. And that is a blast into the second deck.
Talk about earthquakes. I felt that one here in the booth. I mean to tell you, he rattled some seats in left field with that home run.
It got out in a hurry, too.
Man, oh, man.
And now the controversy is on. Look at Howell saying, wait a minute. It's got to be a foul ball. Look at how fast this ball gets out. Boom. Oh, my.
It was just a matter if it was fair or foul. And Merriweather says it's fair, and it's a home run.
Yeah, that's the only one that counts.
Number 33 for Cecil.
Right, Bobby? That's the only guy that counts.
He's the only guy that counts.
You're not going to get it changed? Oh, man, that ball was out of here in a hurry.
Well, if you take a look at this lineup now, Rick, you start. That's Merriweather, the third base umpire, called it fair. Groom answers the bell here in the 8th inning. But he has to face Fielder in order to get to Martinez. Well, Ruben Rivera's gone in to replace Strawberry, but Reyes still continues to throw in the bullpen for the Oakland A's.
Just trying to get him through that one extra hitter. He brought him in to face Bernie Williams.
Talking about Bernie, let's take a look at that spectacular catch to end the inning in the 7th inning. As Bernie leaps high, and check that out. Robbing Baroa of a home run on a fabulous play.
Great jump by Bernie Williams. You notice he didn't miss a beat, timed his leap, and took a home run back from Baroa.
2-2 count on Martinez. Still nobody out here in the 8th. 5-0. The Yankees lead it.
Well, if you're the Yankees, you just couldn't expect it any more from David Cone and the way the Yankees have played defensively and getting some timely hitting today. It's amazing. You talk about acquisitions late season. Well, Cone's been a bonus today. Huh? How many teams would have loved to acquire a David Cone for the stretch run?
Well, first of all, back on middle of May, nobody ever thought David Cone would put the uniform back on in 1996, yet be back pitching and pitching like he's pitching today here in September. As Groom finds the outside corner, strike 3 on Martinez, 1 down. Man, oh man.
Martinez is a little hot. Jim Evans.
Now here comes Torrey, obviously out to try to protect his player. I don't think Martinez thought this pitch was a strike at all. Let's take a look at it.
Pretty close pitch. Watches it all the way. He sees it outside, but the only one who counts is Jim Evans.
So Martinez is gone. We've got a pitching change.
It looked like he just stayed right there. And he's a little hot.
He's still fuming a bit. And Evans doing a little traffic report here as Groom is gone. And Reyes comes in. So Groom, who came in to face Bernie Williams, as David Cone looks on, and now the jacket is completely covering the upper part of the body of Cone.
Yankees with the 5-0 lead. And you notice no hits for the Athletics. And that's the man responsible, David Cone.
Get a cool one and relax, David.
He has used all his entire arsenal.
Now, if nothing else, I mean, what an inspiration this has got to be for this Yankee ball club, who obviously has struggled here on the West Coast. And knowing that David Cone is coming back as strong as he has today. What an inspiration for the club. It could be just the lift that could turn the Yankees around and get them back on track again. They still lead Baltimore at the American League East by 4 games. Boston has gotten back into the race now.
Well, it takes the pressure off the other 4 starters. You know, Boston's been playing great. And then, well, let's take a look at what kept the
no-hitter alive.
No-hitter alive.
Starting off with Charlie Hayes making a spectacular play off of the bat of McGuire. Hayes at third. And then Bernie Williams goes deep into center field to rob Baroa of a home run on a spectacular catch. Never broke stride. And what a big league play that was. That all came in the 7th inning. Reyes is ready, and so is Rivera. Outside for a ball to Rivera. Bordick at short, throws out Rivera, 2 gone. Of course, the ball clubs have expanded their rosters now, and the Yankees, Aldretti has been taken off the disabled list, so he's back on as an eligible player. Andy Fox recalled today, and he's playing second base now. Bowringer also recalled. Posada recalled from Columbus.
And that's a key one, too, Bobby. He added a 3rd catcher. Now you can do some things with your catchers late in the ball game if you have to. Also a switch hitter.
And to make room for David Cone, Wally Whitehurst was designated for assignment.
And to explain that one, in other words, Cone was on the 60-day disabled list. So he's not really on the 40-man roster. So when he came back and activated today, you had to take another player off your 40-man roster, and that turned out to be Wally Whitehurst.
Charlie Hayes, who hit a home run in the 7th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Hayes. So Hayes, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI in a spectacular play at third. Robbie McGuire of a base hit. You know, even though David Cone has only thrown 85 pitches and has pitched like he has today, this is the 3rd inning in a row that Cone has spent a long time on the bench. And I'm sure the Yankees are taking that into consideration, too.
It's been very convenient. The Yankees make the trade for Charlie Hayes, and all of a sudden Boggs has to go out of the ball game with the lower back strain, and it's been, you know, I mean, good insurance policy. Hits the home run. He had the 3 RBIs his first day for the Yankees. Boggs' back is still not healed. Nice when you can fill the gaps with veteran players.
3-2 count on Charlie Hayes. 2 gone here in the 8th. and a miss, strike 3. So Reyes comes on to strike out Hayes, but the Yankees and that long Cecil Fielder home run in the 8th inning. But the Yankees out in front 5-0. David Cone is through for the day. No hitter for David Cone. Mariano Rivera will pick it up for the Yankees here in the bottom of the 8th. Stay with us. David Cone visiting with Wade Boggs, and David Cone, 6th inning pitch today. No runs, no hits, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks by Cone in his comeback debut, and he gives way to Rivera. Obviously, everybody's satisfied.
What an effort.
Coney's performance this afternoon. And Rivera delivers to Brocious, leading off for the A's. Yankees lead at 5-0.
We talked about Cone. He had 85 pitches, and that's the move. They wanted to go to Rivera here, who's been unbelievable all year. But what a job by David Cone. What a lift for the Yankee team in general.
And I think the big factor is the 3 innings in a row that Cone had to sit on the bench while the Yankees were scoring their runs. They turned into long innings and making that comeback today. Obviously, you're going to stiffen up a little bit more than you normally would. One hopper to Jeter, and he throws out Brocious, 1 down.
And we can't forget about it too, Bobby. I mean, the no-hitter is intact. This is would be a combined no-hitter if Rivera can retire the next 5. Coney, remember we saw him in between innings, and he was a little red-faced, a little disgusted. You know, he's a battler. He wanted to stay in this ball game.
You bet.
What a way to come back.
What a competitor. Mariano making his 50th appearance of the season this afternoon as Steinbach steps in. Mariano with 3 saves in the last 3 opportunities since Wetland's injury. Well hit into right field, but Paul O'Neill moves to his right to make the play, and there's 2 gone.
Steinbach hit it hard to right center field. O'Neill with the good jump, it makes the play. And they're down to pinch hitter now. Matt Stairs will come up, Bobby. It looks like it'll be Matt Stairs pinch hitting for Kerwin Moore.
Number 12, Matt Stairs.
And Stairs, he won a big game, a pinch hit home run off of Jeff Nelson in New York.
Even though they send Stairs to the plate, it's going to be a big climb for the Oakland A's as they are behind the Yankees 5-0.
Climb, Stairs, I get it, I get it.
So Stairs bats against Rivera with 2 gone here in the 8th, and strike 1 to Stairs. Mariano has struck out 10 of the last 17 batters that he's faced. You know, it's unbelievable. You get Mariano Rivera, and as a hitter, you know he's got to have some gas, and he's got to have movement on that fastball, because he only features 1 pitch, and that's the fastball. And they swing through it, and he's struck out 10 of the last 17 batters that he's faced.
And you know what it is? He can spot his fastball, and then he can go up the ladder with it.
This is inside, and it's 1-2.
I think it's the delivery, Bobby. It's got to be that smooth, easy delivery of Rivera, and you can say, okay, well, it's coming, but it's coming a lot faster than you think.
Oh, just missing outside, and it's hopping.
Yeah, it's got that little extra life.
A little lift.
Stairs took 2 close pitches, one on the inside part of the plate.
Ask Tino Martinez about those.
Yeah, Tino just argued with Jim Evans on that pitch. The prior pitch on the outside part of the plate. But you just saw Rivera. He'll feature a slider once in a while, and Stairs just fouled that last one off. But if he could ever come up with a changeup to go with that fastball, look out.
Popped up to the third base foul side, and Charlie Hayes got a beat on it. And he makes the play. A lot of foul territory here at the Coliseum, and a nice hand for Rivera from David Cone. The Yankees are playing some great baseball, pitching and offense and defense. Stay with us. We've played 7.5, and the Yankees lead at 5-0.
Now, rock hard, perfect.
Now back to Coliseum. Yankees come To the plate in the 9th inning, David Cone. 6 innings pitched today, no runs, no hits, 6 strikeouts, and 3 walks. 2 of the 3 walks came in the 1st inning when obviously a little bit wobbly legged and overthrowing a bit as he walked 2 of the 3 batters that he first faced. Changes for the Oakland A's. That's Matt Stairs. That's Herrera, who moves from right field to center field. Matt Stairs stays in the game and plays right field. And Andy Fox leads off for the Yankees here in the 9th inning. Yankees on a combined pitching staff right now with David Cone and Mariano Rivera have a no-hitter going into the 9th inning. So Duncan leads the ball game. Fox bats for the first time. Duncan was 2 for 3.
Pretty good changeup by Reyes. Bobby, you talk about that no-hitter. Yeah, 3 more outs for the Yankees, and they can have a combined no-hitter. It's never been done by a Yankee staff.
We got history in making on a couple of looks like a couple of fronts. How many times has a pitcher come back from an aneurysm surgery, not expected to pitch for the rest of the year?
Maybe his career. I mean, at the time,
absolutely.
Before the surgery, they never knew how he was going to respond to it.
And no hits the team that he's facing. And then the Yankees replace him with another pitcher. And they could combine for a no-hitter for the first time in the history that I know of Yankee history. Of course, the Yankees have a no-hitter under their belt already this year when Dwight Gooden pitched his no-hitter early on. And in today's market, with the baseball being juiced a bit,
especially here at this ballpark,
and against a ball club like the Oakland A's, an offensive ball club. High fly ball, infield side. And Bordy calls and makes the play, and there's one gone.
And if you think about the Yankees, this has been a home run hitter's ballpark. Cecil's hit a home run today. Charlie Hayes has hit a home run for the Yankees. Cone with the 7 no-hit innings. But you think just from a Yankee standpoint, they have not played well here on the West Coast. 2-5. They're looking to get a win. That's what they want to do. They need some wins to keep them in front.
And Girardi is 3 for 3 this afternoon, so he's perfect. He's looking for his 4th base hit here in the 9th inning. Talking about Fielder's home run. That home run, a solo shot, put him at 100 RBIs on the year. That's the 4th career 100 RBI season for Cecil Fielder.
Right, Bobby. He had the 3 in a row from 90, 91, 92.
And they had the strike.
He had the strike in 94.
93 it wasn't it? Was it 93? Hopefully there'll never be another strike. You got Joe Girardi, who's batting up over 300 again. Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And David Cone still on the Yankee bench.
And Bobby, we just did a little research. Last combined no-hitter was done in the National League September 11th, 1991 by the Braves against the Padres.
Up high, and Girardi lays off of it, so Girardi works Reyes for a walk with 1 out here in the 9th.
Bobby, that 1-0 ball game. Padres, Braves. Kent Mercker went 6 innings. Wohlers went 2 innings, and Alejandro Pena finished it up with 1 inning. That was their last combined no-hitter in the Major League. 1991, September 11th.
Derek Jeter, the batter. 5-0 Yankees lead it. 2, Brocious for a 1. Back to McGuire as the 5-4-3 double play is completed. The Yankees are gone as they leave one man on here in the 9th inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. A no-hitter intact for the Yankees so far. David Cone, Mariano Rivera. Stay with us. We'll see what happens. Well, the Yankees lead it 5-0 here at the Coliseum, and history in making right now. Dwight Gooden was the last Yankee to pitch a no-hitter, and he did it earlier in the season. And David Cone with a no-hitter through 6 innings. And he gives way to Mariano Rivera, who shut the A's down in the 7th and 8th innings.
And actually, Bobby, if you think back to Doc's no-hitter.
Check that David Cone through 7 innings of work, and then Rivera came on in the 8th inning. And never in the history of the New York Yankees have they had a combined no-hitter. So Rivera will be facing Bordick, who will lead off here in the 9th inning. It should be 1 out. Derek Jeter with a bad hop, but he stays with it, and he throws out Bordick, so 1 gone. Jose Herrera, the next batter, and then following Herrera will be Bautista.
And Bobby, remember I was just mentioning about Doc Gooden the night he threw his no-hitter. David Cone had to listen to the ball game on radio because that was during the time of his operation and his recovery. So David is actually involved in this, pitching 7 innings. But what a season it's been for the Yankees.
What a game this has been. Herrera, who is 0 for 2 with a walk, takes the first pitch up high. Yankees lead it 5-0. And this is a no-hitter that's intact with a team that has 5 men in a row who average at least 30 home runs. Pass, Charlie Hayes, the long throw by Jeter, and they don't get him. Herrera beats it out with the head-first slide. What a play put on by Jeter. Tino Martinez throws his glove on the ground. He thought he had him. McCoy is the first base umpire, and immediately Joe Torre is out there. And it's being called a base hit.
And normally that dive, the play where the base runner dives at first, here you get a good look at it. He slaps it the other way. It ticks off Charlie Hayes. Jeter with the strong throw. The dive. Martinez tries to cheat. Boy, it comes right down to it. Cone's reaction. Boggs' reaction. Oh no, call him out. But an infield single.
Infield single, then the no-hitter is gone as Bautista takes a called strike. An exciting play, and Derek Jeter made a nice effort. But Herrera comes up with the base hit. That pitch fouled back and out of play. Now it's 0-2 count on Bautista.
Yeah, the last combined no-hitter was done right here in this ballpark in 1991 by the Baltimore Orioles, with Bob Malacky starting that ball game. But not today. And it was a close play.
I mean, it was close.
I couldn't tell. Did that ball tick off Hayes' glove?
Yeah, it ticked off Hayes' glove. He tried to smother it. You know, it's one of those opposite ground balls, and Hayes knocked it down. Jeter picked it up, and with his strong arm was still unable to throw out Herrera, who obviously runs very well.
That was one of those plays, though. Larry McCoy, if he just pumps him out, I mean,
nobody's going to say
nobody's going to say a word, because that's how close the play was at first base. And especially when a guy dives, that sometimes tricks the umpires into a call.
The pitch fouled back and out of play, but in all respect, the umpire's going to call the play the way he sees it.
Exactly. Doesn't matter.
And McCoy saw it that Herrera beat the play.
And Tino did everything he could, tried to cheat a little bit with the foot. But just to have Jeter make it that close was outstanding.
Mariano strikes out Bautista. So 2 gone. That'll bring up Giambi. First strikeout.
That's a slider again, Bobby. Look at that little slider. We're not used to seeing Rivera going to the slider, but he does, and gets the called strike.
So Bautista is gone. Giambi will step in, and Giambi, who has walked twice and in line sharply to Jeter his last time up, represents the last hope for the Oakland A's as they are behind 5-0 here in the ninth. 2 gone. Inside corner, strike 1. The runner goes, and the pitch is foul back out of play. Obviously, nobody paying attention to Herrera. Left-handed batter up. Martinez is playing well back at first base. The Yankees lead at 5-0, so that run means absolutely 0 at this point.
Boy, what a day for Yankee fans. Cone comes back. He's reinstated. More than anybody could ever expect it. Something that you talked about, just something that can jumpstart this Yankee team again the month of September.
Nobody will disagree with the competitor that David Cone is. Foul ball, foul off the left side, and a jam shot, broken bat, so Giambi will go back and get some more lumber. That's just that high heat you try to get around on, and all it does is saw your bat off.
Joe Torre.
Boy, everybody on that bench, I mean, they wanted that no-hitter. It's almost...
It is a little disappointing.
It almost is a little disappointing, and everybody with that down look in the Yankee dugout because of the no-hitter loss. But nevertheless, the Yankees have a lot to be happy about today. Another foul back and out of play.
And that down look won't last too long. They'll start realizing about the job that Cone did, the home runs, the defensive plays, and the win.
One ball, 2 strike count. And this should do it. Fox flips to Jeter, and the Yankees have won it 5-0. David Cone gets hugs and congratulations, and rightfully deserved, as David Cone with 7 strong innings for the Yankees this afternoon. 85 pitches, no runs, no hits, 6 strikeouts for Cone, and he walked 3 along with Dwight, the Doc Gooden, walking out to congratulate Mariano Rivera. As Rivera came on, a lot of great defensive plays by the Yankees this afternoon. Bernie Williams took a home run away from Baroa. The no-hitter was intact. The Yankees did some timely hitting this afternoon, and the last out recorded in this game on September the 2nd, 1996 will be marked as a memory for a long, long time, and a guy that certainly has jump-started this Yankee ball club. David Cone making his comeback debut this afternoon, and what a debut it has been.
And the crowd here appreciates the job, the effort from David Cone. A couple of great defensive plays, Hayes and Bernie Williams, but more importantly for the Yankees, a win. Little hug from Joe Torre, Tony Cloninger. They couldn't expect this from Cone. They know the type of competitor he is, but he was coming off that aneurysm in the operation and 2 starts against the Norwich Navigators.
And we're going to have our Suzyn Waldman get a hold of David Cone. We're going to have a little conversation with him. And we're going to go down on the field now with Suzyn Waldman and David Cone. Suzyn?
Okay, Bobby. And David, I saw you getting a little emotional on the bench after the 7th inning. What were you feeling after that performance?
Well, You know, if Joe was going to leave the decision up to me, you know I'm going to go back out there. But I really appreciate Joe and Mel and the fact that they're trying to protect me, and it was the right call. But again, if it was my decision, I'm going to go back out there and throw caution to the wind.
Are you in your wildest dreams thinking that you could have a no-hitter through 7 innings?
No way at all. I was just apprehensive enough to know that you know, things could go awry in the first. I'm walking the first guy on 4 pitches, and I throw the 5th one almost over the catcher's head. So I thought I was in trouble in the first.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the defense behind you. Charlie Hayes makes a spectacular play. Bernie Williams, the catch of his career. What are you thinking when that happened?
Well, I'm thinking this might be a special day at that point. I didn't know how many pitches I had. I thought maybe I might get a chance to go out for the 8th, but again, Joe's trying to protect me.
A little too pumped up in the first inning, saw you throw over a couple times, a little too wild?
Yeah, I had no feel at all out there, and as you can see, I mean, I wasn't even close on the first 5 pitches, and I thought I was in trouble. I could have easily been in a big bad inning there.
When you look back at the last few months, I mean, the emotion just must be pouring out of you. What are you feeling right now?
Well, I'm looking at my dad over in the dugout, the first row. I'm so happy he made it out here, and you know, it's just a great feeling to see, you know, all the fans, and to look up there and see my father. It's a wonderful feeling.
David, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Susan.
Okay, Bobby, back up to you.
Thank you very much, Suzyn Waldman, and a very happy David Cone. His dad was here to watch this wonderful performance by Coney. Let's take one more look at this base hit, this infield base hit, almost a no-hitter, a combined no-hitter for the Yankees. That's Herrera off of the glove of Charlie Hayes, a strong throw and play by Derek Jeter, but Larry McCoy saw it a little bit differently as he calls Herrera safe in the 9th inning to break up the no-hitter. But the Yankees do win it this afternoon behind Cone and Rivera, 5-0, a one-hitter combined by these 2 pitches this afternoon. And a wonderful day here at Oakland on this West Coast trip as David Cone comes back, no doubt, jump-starting the New York Yankees once again. Well, that's it from the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. Be sure to join us for our next Yankee telecast tomorrow at 10 as the Yankees once again take on the Oakland A's. Please stay tuned for Blossom. For Rick Cerone, for Suzyn Waldman, I'm Bobby Murcer. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night, everybody.
We now join Blossom, already in progress.